So this is the third video in the ACT Math Practice Test series, and I'm taking you through an entire typical ACT Math test, showing you the kind of typical questions that appear in all parts of the exams. This will be a series of 60 videos for the 60 questions, and this is number 3. Take a quick glance at the answers. Always a good idea to do that so you know the range that your answer should fall in. So somewhere between negative 3.7 and positive 3.7. So, if you're going down the path and you're finding your numbers in the hundreds, you're probably going the wrong way. You need to try a different strategy. Looking at the actual question, looks like we're going to have to solve for x using some basic algebra, and it is question 3, so that's a pretty good assumption there's going to be some fundamental concepts in algebra. All right, here's the question. For what value of x is the equation 6.2x plus 2.2 equals 4.8x minus 2.24 true? All right, well, if you write out the equation, 6x plus 2.2 equals 4.8x minus 2.24. All right, well, the first thing you're going to look at is notice you have two decimals not attached to variables, right? And a decimal here and a whole number here that are attached to variables. If numbers are attached, whole numbers are attached to variables, they are called coefficients. So they don't have to be whole numbers. They could be fractions or decimals too. But anything in front of a variable is called a coefficient. So we probably can combine the coefficients and the variables at some point, and we can combine these regular decimals here. So remember that algebra is about undoing, so we're going to undo what's been done on either side of the equation and try to get x by itself. All right, well, I think the easiest thing to do here is to add 2.24 to each side. So when we do that, I get 6x plus 4, not 2, but 4, 4.44 equals 4.8x. So we're simplifying the equation here. One thing we could do would be to subtract 4.44 from this side, or we could subtract 4.8x from this side and add it over here. I'm going to choose to subtract 4.8x from both sides, and if I do that, I get positive 1.2x here, again plus 4.44 equals to 0 in this case. Now, again, I still don't have x by itself, so I'm going to have to do a little bit more playing around. I'm going to subtract 4.44 from both sides. I'll just write it just on this side this time, so you get the idea. So I end up with 1.2x equals negative, because I'm saying 0 minus 4.44, so I get a negative 4.44. And then I need to look at what the equation looks like. I just need to get rid of this 1.2, and then I'll have x by itself, and I'll have solved for x, right? And I should be able to get my answer over here. Well, since x is since 1.2 is the coefficient here, and that means it's being multiplied by x, I just need to divide by 1.2. All right, so I'll divide by 1.2 over here, and I'll divide by 1.2 over here. It makes sense to use the calculator here to do that. So what is 4.44 negative divided by 1.2? Well, looks like it's negative. We have let me get back to the full screen here. Looks like we have x equals negative 3.7. All right. And that's letter A.